I'm Jason with Born Handy, and today I'm going to show you how to change the light bulbs in a Land Rover LR2, specifically the high intensity light bulbs. The things you're going to need to get this done is a 10mm wrench or socket. Also, you're going to need a T10 Torx, and the last thing you're going to need are the bulbs. Definitely don't wait to the last minute to get these bulbs. These things are over $100 a piece in your stores locally, but if you order them online ahead of time, they're around $25 a pair. If you're going to do this, it's probably a good idea to watch this video throughout, learn how to remove the headlight assembly, and go ahead and take a photograph of the back of the bulb that you intend to replace, because as I understand it, some of these models have different bulbs from one year to the next. And so for my case, the bulb that we needed to order, the part that's important is the D1S35W. So assuming you have the bulbs in hand already, let's go ahead and get started and get these bulbs changed out. This is a 2009 model, but I'm sure this is going to be similar for any model in this range. And so to change this bulb, we're going to have to remove the headlight assembly entirely, and I'll show you how to do that. The first thing we're going to do is remove two 10mm bolts up top. I'll set those aside somewhere for safekeeping. The next thing I want to do is to release the headlight from the vehicle. So although these bolts are out, there's still an attachment at the bottom, and in order to release that attachment, we come up here to the top, and you're going to be able to see a little tab that you pull just behind the frame here, and you lift this tab in an upward position, and when you do, the headlight will release. So now with the headlight out, we want to remove this plug as well. Don't unscrew this. It's tempting to try to twist this out, but if you'll look up here on the top, there's a tab that we can push down, and the entire plug will slide right off. And now we're going to take this in the house to do the remaining repair, because it's cold outside and there are some small parts that we don't want to lose. So now with the light bulb inside, we're just going to roll it over, and the little tab that you pulled up from an earlier step in the video, you can see how that works at this point. It causes this lock mechanism to release and allows the underside of the headlight to release from the frame of the automobile. And so with this in the house, we want to release this off, and now we can press a couple of clips that are up here toward the top, and when these depress, they'll unlock the cover for the back of the headlight, and now we can access all the bulbs that we need to access in order to make a change. This is the HID light bulb fixture, and it's held in place with this electrical outlet as well as two T10 Torx screws. I can go ahead and tell you, if you don't have one of these, don't start the job until you pick one up. You might be able to get these off with an Allen wrench that fits in, but you also might strip out the screw and then be in a really big bind. You want to make absolutely certain that you do not touch the bulb assembly. This particular kit came with some gloves if you wanted to use them. They also come with the bulb itself packed in an additional foam packing. If you get some oil from your skin on this bulb, it burns hot enough that that oil may cause a temperature differential high enough to cause the bulb to crack. From our old bulb, you may or may not, depending on if your new one came with this or not, you may have to slide this piece off. Just take note of this piece here that bends down, and it slides off away from the plug end, and it slides back onto the new one just the way it came off. Now we're going to carefully remove the sleeve and place the bulb back into the housing. We can go ahead and plug it in. So now we have that installed, and we're going to replace our rear cover. Our latch pin back in place, and now we'll go reassemble the headlight into the vehicle. Make sure that you hear this piece clip back in, and that way you can be assured that it won't back out on you running down the road. And now the headlight slides back in. Now our two 10mm bolts go back in place. You definitely don't want to over tighten these just because you are tightening down a plastic piece to metal, but you do want to give them a couple of little turns to make sure that they fit snugly. And with that in place, the procedure is exactly the same on the other side. The only difference being that the pull tab to release the headlight is slightly obscured by this windshield washer reservoir. But if you look, it's located right here. And once you get past this, it's exactly the same procedure. Now we're ready to drop the hood, turn on the headlights, and see how we did. And there we have it. We've got two working bulbs on the HID section of this headlight assembly. If this video was helpful for you, a thumbs up and a subscribe goes a long way toward keeping smaller channels like myself motivated to make more videos. You can also drop suggestions in the comments because small channels like myself are also always on the lookout for the idea for the next video. So until next time, this is Jason with Born Handy.